Mark chapter 4. He began to teach by the seaside again. Large crowds gathered around him, so he got into a boat and sat in it on the sea while the people remained on the shore. He taught them many things by analogies. During his teaching he said, "Listen, a farmer went out to sow. As he was sowing, some of the seeds fell beside the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground where there wasn't enough soil. It sprouted quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, they were scorched, and because they weren't rooted, they dried up. Other seeds fell on the thorns. The thorns grew up and choked them out, and they didn't yield any grain. Other seeds fell on good ground and sprouted, grew, and yielded a crop that was 30, 60, or even 100 times what was sown." Then he said, "Anyone who has ears should listen." When they were by themselves, the people with him, as well as the 12, asked him to explain the analogy. Yeshua told them, "You have been given the understanding of the mystery of the everlasting kingdom of Yehovah. But to those outside, everything is in analogies. So they see clearly, but don't discern. And when they hear, they don't understand. Otherwise, they might be converted and their sins sent away." He asked them, "Don't you understand this analogy? Then how will you understand any other analogies? The farmer sowing sows the word. The seeds very near the path where the word is sown represents those who, as soon as they have heard it, Satan comes along and takes away the word that was sown in their minds. The seed sown on rocky ground represents those, when they hear the word, accept it immediately with joy. But since they don't have any roots, they only endure temporarily. When there is trouble or persecution because of the word, they are quickly offended. The seed sown among thorns represents those who hear the word, but the distractions of the world and the deceitfulness of wealth and persistent lust comes in and chokes the word, and it doesn't produce a crop. The seed sown on good ground represents those who hear the word and accept it, yielding a crop that is 30, 60, or even 100 times what was sown." He told them, "Is a lamp ever brought in and put under a basket or under a bed? Shouldn't it be put on a lampstand? Nothing is hidden that won't be exposed, and nothing is concealed that won't be revealed. Anyone who has ears should listen." Then he told them, "Consider what you heard. You will be measured by the same measuring standard you use, and more will be added to those who hear. Anyone who has will be given more, but for the one who doesn't have anything, even what they have custody of will be taken away." He said, "The kingdom of Yehovah is like a man who sows seed on the ground. Night and day, whether he's asleep or awake, the seed sprouts and grows while he is oblivious to it. The soil is productive, first the plant, later the ear, then full heads of grain. When the crop is ripe, someone with a sickle is immediately sent out because the harvest is ready." He said, "What could we compare the kingdom of Yehovah to? What analogy would illustrate it? It is like a single mustard seed sown in the ground. It's the smallest seed you sow in the ground. Yet, when it is sown, it springs up and becomes larger than all the other garden plants. It puts out branches large enough for birds to nest in its shade." Yeshua gave the people many such analogies to listen to and consider. He didn't tell them anything without analogies, but he explained everything to his disciples when he was alone with them. That evening, He said to them, "Let's cross over to the other side." They sent the crowd away and took him with them in a boat. Other boats also accompanied him. There was a heavy squall with violent winds, and the waves kept breaking over the boat until it was nearly filled. Yeshua was asleep on a mat in the stern of the boat. They came and awoke him and asked him, "Rabbi, don't you care that we are going to die?" He got up, scolded the wind, and said to the sea, "Be silent, muzzle it." The wind stopped blowing, and it became very calm. He asked them, "Why are you so afraid? Why don't you have any faith?" Overcome with fear, they began asking each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the sea listen to him."